Greetings, everyone. I'm Dr. Wolf.
I'm Lightning Bliss.
And in case you haven't noticed, we're at a convention. And that's why we have to wear these wherever we go.
Yep.
I'm hoping that our voices aren't too muffled. We may have to speak up a little bit more than usual just to be sure.
Yep, I'll try.
But earlier this week, the Gen 5 movie trailer came out, and people were already expecting me to put out a video that same day, and I did. But Blissy here has not seen the trailer just yet.
Nope.
And I am genuinely curious to hear what she thinks, because she's been a My Little Pony fan far longer than I have.
Yep.
I mean, far longer than most people in the community. She was MLP fan way back in the first generation.
My mother will say I was a fan when I was born.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, so, okay.
So, Generation 5. You've already said that you like how the animation looks.
It looks okay. I don't know it much yet, so.
Let's see what she thinks of the actual story.
Oh boy.
Once upon a time, Earth ponies, Pegasi, and unicorns in the park.
Why can't we be friends anymore?
Maybe one day, we'll figure it out.
What the? Hi, new friend!
Unicorn attack!
Is every pony playing hide and seek? I see you!
Your son is safe.
This isn't my kid!
You're welcome!
I gotta get you out of here!
What?
Show me some magic! I can do this! You don't have any magic? We did have it. It just poof, disappeared. Izzy, we're going to Zephyr Heights. Pegasus City? We need to find out what happened to your magic and bring it back. But the Pegasi are bad news.
Whoa! A unicorn and an earth pony? Okay, well, this stage is getting a little more interesting.
We'll need glitter. Lots of glitter.
Yay, makeovers! I love makeovers.
Gorgeous! Come on, every pony.
Break point! The ultimate challenge!
I don't
No.
Yeah.
I can find that average height.
Just photos. Okay, one photo.
Yeah, maybe it is. My bad references.
What is the first thing that popped into your head after seeing that? You were laughing quite a lot, so you were appreciating the jokes at least.
The jokes were funny. I'm trying to process what I just saw.
Well, for starters, the animation looks brilliant.
It does. It really does.
I love how colorful the world is and how expressive the characters are. I mean, this is a great way to take 2D into 3D. I've seen far too many examples of 3D just completely butchering 2D characters.
And it went out, yeah.
But this is a great example of how to do it right.
Yeah. Okay. It got rid of a theory I had. It probably got rid of a few theories you had.
Probably.
One of them being that everybody's lost their magic, but specifically we're focusing on the unicorns' fact that they don't have magic. And they looked pretty sad and depressed not having it.
Oh, yes.
I'm like, okay, but it suddenly went poof. Okay, so this tells me, did this happen recently? And that's why Izzy's out there? Okay.
Plus, for now, Izzy seems to be the only happy unicorn left. What does that do to a story?
Right. Everyone else was depressed except maybe for the older unicorn stallion.
Yeah, except for the older stallion who was doing a rendition of Dance Dance Revolution.
Wow. The whole... Okay. I thought I knew Stamp on the Ground pony parody would be fun, but come on! Are you serious?
That's a good way to put it.
Oh, right. Wow. Okay. Okay. I liked it. You know what? I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it, but now it's like I have more questions than answers.
Well, then I guess the people who put the trailer together did a really good job because it makes you want to get those questions answered.
I want more information now. Thank you. Which means the trailer did a good job.
Yes.
So, wow. Okay.
So what did you think of one unicorn being enough to cause an entire town of Earth ponies to go into a panic, even jumping off a ledge?
I'm like, what is she doing that is so terrifying, other than the fact that, oh, she has a horn on her head, there goes monster. But I'm taking one look at her and I'm like, y'all are scared of that? That's saying something. Something must have really have the scarf like that.
I think it's become just part of the culture. Because you look in the background of some of those scenes, there's actually posters that look like they came out of straight out of war propaganda.
Yep.
About a dark, scary Pegasus looking at this timid little Earth pony in the foreground. So it's become just part of, like, you teach Earth ponies from a young age, unicorns and Pegasi, they are the absolute worst. They are so terrifying.
But that's saying something because Izzy still came to see the Earth pony, so she's clearly not that scared of them, but as soon as you said Pegasus, she's like, the Pegasus are the worst.
Oh yes. So you have to imagine that all of the pony races are getting that same kind of culture ingrained into them from a young age.
And yet Izzy wasn't scared of the Earth ponies though. She was willing to go and seek them out, but she was like, no, with the Pegasus. So that's
interesting point.
Yeah. So I'm like...
In fact, when everybody was fleeing from her, she thinks, oh, we're playing hide and seek. I see you.
That was well done. I approve. I like. I can't wait to see more. Oh wait, this is for the movie. I keep forgetting this is a movie. Okay.
This is just the movie we're seeing so far. So there's an entire series coming after the movie, sometime next year.
Okay, then I only have one plea with Hasbro. When the movie is over and the series starts coming out, don't skip on this animation. The animation's really good. If they downtone it on a series, that's gonna kill the series, I feel. I really hope they don't do that.
Well, it will certainly be less impressive if they have to pull back on the animation budget.
Yeah.
It is Netflix, so maybe they can keep that same level of animation going, maybe. But, as an example, the current series on Disney Plus, Monsters at Work, I have been a big fan of Monsters, Inc. for the past 20 years. It is perhaps my most favorite Disney/Pixar movie of all time. And yeah, it is a downgrade on the animation for this series, but it's still enjoyable to watch. I still keep coming back to it week after week. And maybe that same thing would happen here if they have to take a step back on the animation budget, because maybe they will have to, but fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Let's see if they can keep it.
If they have to, don't do it too much to the point that it looks just awful. You know, just awful.
Yeah.
I just hate awful 3D animation. No, I am happy with it. I'm even more happy that the anatomy, that they're keeping with the anatomy of the ponies too. I mean, yeah, they're taking some liberties with their limbs, but it still looks real enough that I'm like, oh, good. I like the anatomy of, of these puppets here.
I mean, you take a look at Friendship is Magic, and even just a character like Pinkie Pie, and all the things she did with her limbs. People didn't seem to mind it all that much back then.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yes.
I look forward to see more.
And there are plenty of videos I want to make on specific details I noticed in here. Aside from pony propaganda, there's also particular character traits, because at the end of the trailer, you see Hitch in the middle of this herd of what I assume are bunnies, but their ears are so long, they're using their ears to clap. It's interesting. And I keep getting the sense Hitch might be the animal caretaker, or at least the one who can talk to animals in this series. And the courageous sheriff who's so ignorant because a pony says, "Hey, this isn't my kid," and he says, "You're welcome," is also the one who's able to talk to animals, maybe. That's just the vibe I'm getting here.
Yeah.
So, more to say on that.
Yep.
But, thank you for sharing your thoughts here. I'm glad that you thoroughly approve of the trailer thus far, and it's even making you want to see the movie even more.
I wish y'all could have seen my mouth, because my mouth was kind of hanging open most of the time.
Yeah, it kind of takes away from a reaction video when you can only see half the face.
It's just like, you just see my eyes at this point. I'm like...
Yeah, the eyes certainly gave a lot away, though.
I'll definitely give my thoughts later on, for sure, in another video as well.
I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
And do let us know what each of you want to see most from this upcoming film. Because until next time, I am Dr. Wolf.
I am Lightning Bliss.
And we look forward to hearing from you. So, we just showed the trailer to both Will and Jasper, and they apparently have several questions.
So, I understand that, okay, so, context, I know G4 is a completely separate generation from previous generations, so I'm trying to see this Generation 5 as its own separate entity, otherwise it'll just feel like, wow, Twilight achieved literal world peace, and then, dead, gone.
Well, how many years passed between generations, I wonder?
Touche, and I don't think they even mentioned that this was the same Equestria. I don't even think they called it Equestria. They have different,
Closest we got was a lineup of the main 6 action figures.
So, really? I must have missed that.
Yeah, there's a very short little bit at the beginning where the alarm goes off, and behind the clock there, you can see all the main 6 figurines in a line.
So then, it does take place in the same?
It is technically the same world, but we have no idea how much time has passed, so...
They are teasing us!
But then wait, so if it's technically the same world, should Twilight still be around, given that she's an immortal alicorn now?
Now you see, lots of us have been asking that same question. We don't know. We don't know. We'll see.
Well, if we're going by that logic, there's only one logical conclusion. Panic. Murder! Or panic.
Maybe Discord lost it after
I don't know, it just seems like it's a little weird for them, again, Generation 4 ended with world peace between all nations, and now we're back to hating each other again. But with everybody running around, it's like, unicorn, that's a horn on our head, therefore that makes us different.
And yet there's a serious lack of Wendigos. I actually got a theory about that, actually.
I'll try to, when the movie does eventually come out, I'll try to see it for what it is by itself, but with these little hidden things here and there that suggests it's part of the same world as G4, I don't know. I legit don't know how to feel about this. I mean, the animation looks good, and Izzy's the purple one that was with the tennis ball on her horn, right?
Yes.
She's my favorite.
Nah.
So far, she's pretty adorable, but just, I don't know. I have mixed feelings, but I'll see it in full to judge the whole thing by myself.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Jasper, do you have any final thoughts aside from the constant waving of the Doom flag?
In this order, what happened to Equestria? Who killed Twilight Sparkle? And why did Izzy have to spill the beans? That meme's been out there for a while.
It's so many questions, and I'm not keeping any hopes up that any of them will ever be answered, but we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
In due time.
I demand satisfaction and a snow cone.
We'll see what we can come up with. Thanks, guys.